Hi, I'm Victor Margiotta, and this is the Community Show. And you can't get more community than the local library. We're here at the Hendrick Hudson Library in beautiful Montrose, New York. It's a beautiful day out. Today's date is actually July 18th, 2023. I'm only stating that because we're going to mention a couple of the programs that are going on here. So when the show is being aired, some of the programs might have already been done, and some you can still, come and check out. But the website is excellent. Go on Hendrick Hudson High School or Hendrick Hudson Free Library and see all the wonderful things that they offer to the community. So many great things. And we have Terri Clark Jersey to help talk about all these great things. She's actually the children's librarian, and thanks for coming on, Terri.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so glad you came on. Thank you.
Thank you. It was Jill said that you were interested, and I said, okay, sign me up.
Oh, I'm glad. Thanks. So how long have you been working here?
So it's a very long story, Victor.
Okay.
My family moved here when I was 14, ninth grade in the high school. I couldn't drive yet. It was in ninth grade. So I needed to find a job that was close to the high school. So I applied to the library. Mrs. Dykeman interviewed me. I was hired when I was 16 years old. So I've been here since 1986.
Oh my God.
37 years, which is...
What?
I know, because I'm only 39, so I don't know how, but yes, 37 years I've been here. It was my first job, and I never quit.
Holy cow.
Yeah, so I worked other jobs. I went to college locally, so I always worked here part-time. I worked other full-time jobs, but kept my job here on the weekends, always worked 7 days a week. And then after my children were born, I spent some time at home raising them, and just worked here part-time, and then they kept offering me more hours and more hours. And then, hey, how about trying to do some fun things in the children's room? Started with little crafts, story times, and then our full-time librarian retired, left, and they said, how about going back to school and getting your degree? So I did.
Awesome.
And here I am.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so I didn't figure out what I wanted to be till I was about 35, but that's okay because I have the best job in the world. I love it.
Speaking of your kids, how are they doing?
They're
love
doing
talking
great.
about families. So.
They're doing very well. They came through the whole system here, Hendrick Hudson School District, and my daughter's 24, research scientist at Yale University. It's fantastic. My son is a welder. He's 21. It's great.
Good. Oh, that's so fabulous.
Yes, I'm very blessed.
So what are some of the programs that you are offering here for the kids?
So right now we're in the midst of summer reading. So we do this every year. We follow the national summer reading theme. This year the theme is All Together Now. So it's about unity and friendship and community and doing things together. So it's been a great response this year. We're coming back after to like full pre-COVID numbers, which is, it's been a struggle because COVID happened and people kind of forgot what they used to do before COVID. So now the kids are back in the library. They're participating in all of our programs, which they've just been fantastic. So it's good. We're doing some fun things, different things this year. So it's good.
We mentioned a couple things that actually came from the pandemic that were actually good. What were a couple of those?
Right. One of the greatest things is during the pandemic, we couldn't have people in the library. We weren't allowed to. So it was summertime. We wanted to offer summer reading. We usually did it on paper. You had to come in and register. You put stickers on a log, and you would earn your prizes after reading, a certain number of hours. But we couldn't do that because we couldn't have the kids here. So we switched to an online recording, and it's been fantastic because kids can go on vacation, they can leave the country, they could go to sleepaway camp, they could record all their time on their phone or on the computer. We still offer the stickers and the paper too, but the fact that we can have that online piece it's been great. So that was one of the best things to come from the pandemic.
So, man, you must know 1,000 people now then, with all these kids that came through here.
Yes, it's so fun to see these children. Like this year, the valedictorian this year, Peter Kochek, he used to come to book chats and crafts
right.
here, and
Yeah.
he's the valedictorian this year. And to see these kids come, I mean, some of them I've seen them when their moms were still, they were still in their moms' bellies,
Yep,
and
yep.
now they're adults and coming here with their own children. It's
amazing.
so fun to see, so fun to see them instilling that the library in their own families. Yeah.
Well, for me, it's a gift. I have 8 brothers and 1 sister, and out of them, 25 nieces and nephews, and now they're all having kids, and it's a beautiful thing.
It
Really,
is. It really
it
is.
just gives you a lot of hope, and you want to see good things happen for them for the future.
Absolutely. And it's fun when you grew up here and you see the family staying here, or they leave and they come back. It's a nice thing.
It really is.
It's a great area here.
Yeah. So what's Yakety Yak?
Yakety Yak is what we call our book groups. We have a Yakety Yak 2, which is for second graders.
Right.
We have a Yakety Yak 3 for third graders, and then we have book chat for fourth and fifth grade. So it's really fun. The kids come, they sign up for Yakety Yak. We give them a free copy of the book. They all go home and they read the book, and then they all meet here on the same day each month, and they have a little discussion about the book. They play a little game, and that involves some sort of trivia with the book or a craft. Sometimes they eat a snack associated with the book. When they have the chocolate touch, when they read that, it's fantastic because we get the chocolate fountain out and we have fondue and all that kind of fun stuff. So yeah, it's a good way for them to read things that they're not required to read.
Right.
We read fun stuff here, and we expose them to different genres that they might not normally pick themselves. So it's good.
Yeah. Now the parents have to be with them. You don't have to just.
No, they can. They usually wait up here in the lounge, or they can go find their own books. They don't have to stay in the room with
Oh,
them.
well, that's good.
Yes, so that's another good thing, because then they can kind of put their own thoughts together about what they thought about the book. Nobody's leading them in. Well, didn't you think this? No, that's not what I thought.
Yeah, right.
They get to express themselves the way they want to.
And speaking of expressing themselves, I just read something about, creating a better vocabulary enables you to, put words on your feelings and thoughts, and you're better able to express yourself. How important do you think building their vocabulary is?
It's one of my favorite quotes. It's from Emily Buchwald. It says, "Children are made readers on the laps of their parents." So it's so important to start when they're young, because that's where they build their love of books. They learn how a book works, how you turn a page from right to left, how the words go across the page, how you read. They learn print recognition, and they hear all of this vocabulary that they wouldn't hear in just a regular conversation or at school. They hear words like, I was reading a book last week in story time, and the word lair. We were talking about a bear's lair. Where would you hear that word, if you weren't reading it in a book at 2 years old, An adult might, but so it's so important to read to your children from very, very young and get.
Even if they don't understand. I mean,
Right.
I could remember talking to my nieces and nephews like I talk to anybody else. And, they always looked at me like, wow, you're just talking to me like a normal person. Not that, kids kind of get an attitude when you talk to them, like goo goo gaga,
Yes.
They don't like that.
No, they like to be talked to, just like
Normal.
we're talking right here. They don't want baby talk to them. No, and learning to listen to a story, they also learn how to tell a story too. And that's very important, being able to express themselves, like you said.
So sometimes they could be a little hard to manage. How do you handle that?
So I deal with mostly the preschool age children. That's my expertise, so
Okay.
to speak. So story times are, very, very young children. And it's very much when one child gets up and starts running around the room, they all
Yeah.
want to do that.
Oh, sure.
But I usually distract them by, we'll sing a song together. We'll sing, the Itsy Bitsy Spider, and then it kind of stops them where they are, and then they settle down. They'll listen to another book, and then I don't just keep reading book after book. I'll,
Yeah.
break it up with some songs and finger plays. So
Right.
it's
So
fun.
that keeps them manageable.
Yes. Keep them focused.
Right. What are some of your other responsibilities? Do you have to manage any of that?
So, yeah, we have to order the materials for the library.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of, we use our peer review articles usually to choose the materials, the bestsellers list.
Right.
We get different magazines here for the library that have reviews, and so that's one of the biggest things. Collection development, and readers advisory is another thing. People come in and say, my son loved Harry Potter, what else can you suggest for him,
Right.
or her. And also maintaining what the collection that we have is a big thing. We call it
Yeah.
weeding. So we have to weed out some of the outdated material, the stuff that's falling apart, the stuff that doesn't look so good,
Right.
the stuff that is not relevant anymore. We need to get those things off our shelves so we can make room for the new stuff.
Yeah.
So that's a big part of what I do here.
I,
Programming, getting new ideas, fresh ideas to draw new people in too is another big part of what we do.
So I'm having problem managing my clutter. So I actually went online. There's like 10 or 15 books on managing clutter.
Yes, wasn't there like a whole Netflix series that one
That's
woman
right,
wrote
right,
on
right.
managing your clutter. Yes, I also need to learn how to manage my clutter. If you go down and look at my office, you will see what I mean.
Well, my brother's coming into town, and right now, he wants to stop by and check out the house, and so I'm really going to have to. But you know what it is? It's easy to be distracted, to get some of this stuff done, to stay focused.
It is. It's very hard, and we'll print out a list of things that haven't gone out in, let's say they haven't gone out in 5 years. And I'll go through, we'll pull them off the shelf, and I'll start going through them, and then I'm like, oh, but I read this to
Yeah.
my daughter, or I read this to so and so. I
right.
can't get rid of this book, but you have to learn to let go.
do
You
it.
have to censor yourself a little bit. Yeah, but yes, I would have a million shelves in the children's room if
right.
we could.
If it was your right, if you were managing it. The other thing is health and fitness. What are some of the programs here that we can come and work on our, fitness and health and how to be educated in that area?
Oh, so we start them very young here, and we have yoga for little learners for the youngest patrons. So we do 2 classes, one for 2 to 4-year-olds, and then another one for 5 to 7-year-olds. And these children, they're amazing. I look in and I see them doing tree pose and pigeon and warrior pose, and they learn how to breathe and how to relax and focus. It's so important, and it's very helpful. And the parents are also using those techniques that our teacher is using with their children at home when they get overstimulated or upset. They learn how to calm themselves down with breathing exercises, or they say, hey, let's do, downward dog together. And it's really helpful. So that's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then last week we had an old school field day out on the front
Yeah, I
lawn. It
saw
was
that.
so much fun.
It reminded
We
me
had,
of the old parish picnics that we used to go to when we were kids. The
It was fantastic.
three-legged
Yeah.
race.
Three-legged race. I mean, some kids have never done that before. And the egg race. We were going to do the egg toss. We thought that might be a little too messy. So when we did the egg race, they held the egg on the spoon.
Yeah.
And then for the older ones, we had them hold the spoon in their mouth and they had to run. So it was fun.
Yeah.
When the egg fell, it was on the grass. So it wasn't too bad.
No. Right.
But we had a great time. We had a lot of children come and their parents stayed out there with them. We played with the hula hoops together. When's the last time you did a hula hoop,
It's been a
Victor?
while. I don't know if I can.
Well, with your back now, I don't know.
Yeah, I
But
know.
yeah,
I got
it
to
was
manage
fun.
that too. But
We had a good time.
what books do you recommend right now for adults? Is
For
there anything
adults.
that you're reading?
I don't read adult books. If it doesn't have pictures, I don't read
Yeah,
it
right. Oh my
anymore.
gosh, that's too
It's
funny.
very sad, but I'll go on vacation and maybe bring like just a novel that I don't have to think about, like a Ellen Hildebrand or Colleen Hoover, like something like that. But I mostly read children's books, not just picture books. I'll
No,
read,
right.
the graphic novels. Have you read any of those? Like
No.
they're like comic books, but novel form.
Yeah.
I really thought when they first started, they're very popular now. And when they first started writing them, I didn't like the
Mm-hmm.
idea of it. But they're fantastic. The pictures and it's like comic book form,
Mm-hmm.
but in a book. And some of the writing is just so good, and the
Oh, nice.
kids love them.
That's
And
key.
it's good because it's like little bite-sized pieces they can digest a little bit easier than all of those words on the page. It's not overwhelming.
Right.
So yeah, I went on vacation a few months ago and brought 2 graphic novels with
Oh,
me
that's
and
awesome.
read them. No adult books for me.
Yeah. So you can't run a library without money. Now they tried. What was the sheet fundraiser?
Yes.
It wasn't as
Peach Kid.
successful as it could have been. What are some of the other ways that the library tries to raise money?
We hosted, well, we definitely do a lot of grant writing here. I
Mm-hmm.
just wrote one a couple of weeks ago. All of us, all the librarians, we're constantly looking for sources for funding for different programs that we want to do, innovative programs or things that we need here.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a major source for us. And then sometimes we have fundraisers. We had a great fundraiser last, I think it was in April. Wine bottle bingo. So you signed up, you got a couple of bingo cards, and you got 2 glasses of wine to play. Claire Keenan was our MC, so she called the
Ah,
numbers, and
right.
she's just hysterical.
Yeah, she is. Hi,
And
Claire.
it was yeah, hi Claire, thank you. The room was packed,
Oh,
and
that's
everybody
excellent.
had, a couple of glasses of wine, and that always makes everything a little
Oh,
bit more
yeah.
fun and
Yep.
rowdy.
A
And
social lubricant.
yes, and it was a great time. That was very successful. Sold out. It sold out very quickly.
All right. So, and you can donate. I saw something on the website. You
Absolutely. You
are.
could donate anytime on our website you can use PayPal or right from our
Yeah,
website.
which is, it's a great cause. I'm telling you, it's
Yeah, we have the book
fantastic.
sale going year round. It's always out in the lobby. We don't put a price on the books. You put in the box whatever you wish to pay. So
Right.
that's a good source too.
So you had a community mural project with who was the artist?
Jan Aiello,
Oh,
she is a retired art teacher from the high school.
okay.
She retired a couple of years ago. She is so wonderful.
Wow.
So what we did was the children made scenes from our community. So they used tissue paper and Sharpies, and they drew the river and the library and the schools and their homes, and we put them all together to make a scene of our community on the windows in the children's room.
Wow,
So
that's pretty
it's
cool.
a wheat paper paste, which I don't know. Mrs. Aiello made it. It's some artistic thing, but it's stuck to the windows like that. It washes off easily, and it'll be there all summer.
All right.
Yeah, and it's great because we do the concerts out on the front lawn, and they'll be stationed right in front of the artwork, so people
Yeah.
can see it. Yeah.
Who are some of the bands that have been here?
We have Joe DeRay's band coming soon. And at the end of the summer, our summer reading finale, we're having a band called Roly Poly Guacamole here, which I hired them based on their name
Yeah,
alone.
right?
They look very silly and fun.
Oh,
But
that's
yeah,
good.
we have a lot of jazz bands,
They're usually
and
on Sundays, right?
usually on Sundays at 2
Yeah.
o'clock.
Okay, good.
Yeah, ours will be in the evening, but yeah, we're gonna promote a picnic dinner and yeah, get a pizza from the Paradise and come over
Yes.
and
All
eat it on the
right.
front lawn.
Yes, got to go to the Paradise. It's funny when you said you've been working here 37 years. I'm actually working at the restaurant 50 years.
Wow,
I
50
know.
years, Victor.
Started when I was 8,
I was gonna
and
say, yeah,
yeah,
we must have started when you were 5.
yeah. So
8 years old.
I
Wow.
know, and but it's such a it'll be 76 years this year that the Paradise is in
Wow.
Verplank and still up and running.
That's
So
fantastic.
yeah,
That's
it's
so
a great
great.
talk about community, and it's funny you go out on a Friday night and it's the same people
Same
sitting in the
people.
same seats, and just as long as we keep it consistent, it'll keep going. So.
Yes, I love all the pictures you have of all
Oh
the
yeah,
families
I
there.
know. It's very
It was
nice.
great to see that.
Yeah. So what do you recommend parents to do to get these kids involved, to get them here, get a book, start reading young?
Start reading young. I mean, we have story time for babies up to the age of 2. Soon as you can, they don't even have to be any age. As soon as they can sit on your lap, read to them. Just do nothing but read. We always have a lot of things here for you to do. It's a great place to meet new families, meet families with young children. That is
Yeah.
one thing after when everything was still closed and we were open with masks here at the library. What a lot of the families said that was the thing that they missed the most was
Yeah.
they couldn't go anywhere to socialize their children with other children.
Yeah.
So here when we have story time, lots of the families hang out in the room and they play with the puzzles and the trains and the puppets and they have a great time. So it's very good. But yes, start reading when they're little and make it fun. Reading shouldn't be a punishment. Go to your room and read
Yeah.
for 20
Yeah.
minutes. See,
Right.
That
No.
that puts a bad taste in your mouth.
Yeah.
Make it positive. Do it together. It's something you could do as a family. You read to me, I'll read to you when they get older. I mean, my son, my daughter, they were in middle school. We were still reading together every night. It was great. They would read a page, I would read a page. Or they would read books that were above their grade level. I would read to them.
Yeah.
I was reading Harry Potter to my son when he was 7. He couldn't read it yet. So we read it together. It was great.
Yeah. That's the way to go. Now, I wasn't the best reader, and but every time a book was read to me, I remembered every word, and so what are you recommending for like audiobooks?
Audiobooks are fantastic. That was a way, that's a way for a lot of children too to focus. If they want to listen to the book, they can read along too, so they don't get distracted. But audiobooks, we have many services on our website that you can get free audiobooks. Audible, all of those things you can use from our website, which is great. We have old school CDs here. You put them, if you have a Discman, you can whip that out of your pocket and
I
put your
still
CD
have
in
it,
there.
yeah.
Or in the car. Some cars still have CD players, but most of it is digital now. You download it. You can still listen to it. Download it to your phone, play it in the car on the way to work, on your commute.
Yeah. So the place offers so many services. I just saw the little video you guys made. It came out really nice.
It was so much fun.
Yeah.
It came out so fantastic. We were all very nervous about it, but it came out great.
That's awesome.
That was our acting debut.
Yeah, right? So they do, I mean, I know they have point reduction class here, maybe once a month.
The driver's education.
yep.
Yep. Yeah, probably like once a quarter. We have that. It's coming up very soon, actually.
Yeah, it's a great way to reduce your, your insurance. And if you have points on your license to, so that's something, and it's locals. You can come right here and get it done.
Absolutely. Yeah. And what else? We have the mobile shredder that comes here every couple of months. So that's good. You get rid of your clutter There you go, Victor. You
know.
can bring over a few boxes.
Well, I also have to plug the St. Patrick's Thrift Shop. You know, that's a great place if you want to try and get rid of some stuff. And
That's
if it's no good, they'll throw it away for you. So
same here with
you
your
don't have
books.
to see.
We don't want your dusty, moldy books.
No.
But if you have some good books that you'd like to get rid of, we're happy to take them
Yeah,
here.
sure.
We'll put them on our for sale shelf.
yeah.
But yes, so those are a couple of the things we are a passport agency here, so you can get your passport here. It's very, very busy with the passports.
Wow.
We recycle here, so you could recycle your light bulbs, your batteries, your plastic films. We've gotten 2 Trex benches so far. We're
Yeah,
working
I
on
heard
some
about
more.
that. That's great.
Yeah, we offer so much stuff. People wouldn't even think.
know.
We loan out puzzles now, which is so awesome because what do you do with a puzzle after you finish completing it? How many can you glue and, I don't know, do
Yeah.
you frame them and put them on your wall? No. So people donated puzzles and you can rent them out just like you rent a book. Take it home, complete it, bring it back, get another one. The children and the adult both have puzzles that we loan. So that's a fun program. Yeah, we do lots of fun stuff here.
Looking back, who were some of the teachers that inspired you the most?
Some of the teachers. Mr. McLaughlin, do you remember him?
Yes.
He was my 10th grade English teacher. He was very, very influential in my reading.
Yep.
Mrs. Oh gosh, her name just totally went out of my head. But some of the books that I read in high school
Yeah.
were some of the best books still to this day that I've ever. The Good Earth.
Oh, I love that book. Yeah.
Oh, that was so good. And all the Shakespeare that I got to read in high school, like I don't really read much of that now, but
Yeah.
that was some of the best reading I ever did. And then I had a fantastic teacher in 6th grade. I was in New Rochelle, Mr. Mullen. He encouraged creative writing, and I loved him. He was so good. He was the cool teacher. Like he would say, write the lyrics to your favorite song and tell us how it makes you feel.
Yeah.
And that was, a
made a
different
difference.
approach, and it was one of my best memories.
Excellent. All right, we're going to wrap it up.
Okay.
Did a great job. Thanks, Terri.
It went very quickly, Victor.
Yeah. You were very smooth.
Thank you.
So when you get a chance, there's so many opportunities to learn and to, get a book. And, there's so many things to express yourself here at the library. So come and see Terri, bring your kids, and check out the website.
Yes, www.henhudfreelibrary.org.
Okay, excellent. All right, I'm Victor Margiotta. This is The Community Show. Thanks for watching.